Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Unfiltered Growth. I'm Ron and I created this podcast mainly for myself because I've made a ton of bad decisions, whether it's about my career, finances, or just life in general. I really mess up. And if you're listening to this, maybe you've been there too. Maybe you're in the restart mode right now. And if so, come and join me and let's restart together. By the way, I'm 27 years old and currently in the middle of rebuilding my life from scratch. And this podcast, well, it's like my audio journal. But more than that, I hope it becomes a space for all of us who are still figuring things out. Well, you know what I realized? Most of the content that we see online is about success. People who already made it there. But what about us? The ones still in the what the fuck am I doing stage. So here it is, guys. Welcome to Unfiltered Growth. And this is a space for the messy middle. This podcast is about failures, about fuck ups, and honest struggle of getting back up. Also, the message that I want to give is failure is part of the process, and failure is okay. And I want to kick things off with something that changed the way I view life, and that is having the right motivation. Well, you might be wondering, is there even such a thing as wrong motivation? Well, for me, yes. And what I mean by that is growing up here in the Philippines, we're often pushed to chase goals that aren't even ours. If you've ever heard of something like mag-government ka, malaki sweldo dyan. Or magsiman ka katulad ng pinsan mo kasi may kotse na siya. And mostly it came from our family. Sometimes from our friends, ganyan. We grow up comparing ourselves to others, like to our neighbors, to our classmates, sa anak ng kaibigan ng mama mo, 'di ba? Until we start living lives that are not ours. And I think that's what happened to me. I used to make decisions just to prove something, to flex. Well, I'd sometimes tell myself na I should be ahead of them. Parang, ganyan ka. Sige, ganito naman ako. So, parang dapat lagi tayong may ibubuga, ganyan. And just a quick backstory, guys. I took up medical technology in college, but I didn't graduate because of financial struggles. I actually had to work to support my family, and I even tried being a working student, but let's be real. Here in the Philippines, the schools here aren't built for that. There's no weekend classes, no flexible schedule. Sana all, diba? Well, eventually, I had to let it go and, well, time comes when my batchmates passed the board exam and became RMTs. Well, I felt crushed. And for me to cope, I worked even harder. I'm working as call center agent at night, and then I do freelance virtual assistant during the weekends or during the daytime. I do freelancing. So talagang hassle kung hassle, 'di ba? And I did that kasi sila RMT na. And I felt like I'm a nobody. So I need to be somebody. And that somebody is earning higher than you are or than them. At least ako, di ba, I'm earning like 50,000, 200,000 a month. And then sila, they're just minimum wage earners. So yan. You see, wrong motivation starting now. Well, at first, of course, I felt proud that I earned more than them. But over time, that motivation to prove people wrong became toxic for me. I think, oo nga no, parang hindi naman masama to prove people wrong, but sometimes that kind of attitude became toxic. Yeah. So I burned out and I felt empty because even though I love what I'm doing, I love my work, I wasn't fulfilled because my why was wrong. And I realize when you're motivated by ego, by envy, or comparison, it's never going to be enough. You'll always want more. And when life hits you hard, your fake motivation won't last long. So dito actually nag-start yung pagod na di mo alam paano ba ipapahinga kasi walang pahinga na katumbas yun. So I created this podcast because I want to help people to be successful by finding the right motivation in life and setting proper goals na rin. So now, I'm very lucky that I was able to find clarity after being lost for 7 years. 7 years na di ko alam para saan ba ako, ano ba yung gusto ko. But I am really lucky that early on, I was able to try different things. And that's the best decision I did in my life. Trying. Just try. These days, I still work hard, but now I do it for me, for my peace, for my future. I have goals that align with who I really am and what I actually enjoy. I'm not in survival mode anymore. I'm not hustling to prove a point. And that's what I want for you too. So let me leave you with a thought. You can write it down. So first, know what do you want actually enjoy doing. Second is what kind of life do you want to live? And who are you without all the noise of expectations? Be honest, be selfish in a good way. You owe it to yourself anyway. And in the next episode, we'll talk more about navigating life from the bottom, building system, handling finances, and so much more in the most unfiltered way possible. So if you're restarting your life too, welcome to the club. And let's figure things out together. See you on the next episode. Bye. Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode of Unfiltered Growth. I'm Ron and I created this podcast mainly